Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your cloud, it be raining out, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Reckless Ray Dinero, and we are back at it again with another episode of Crypto Portfolio Updates. It is Sunday, June 3rd. First episode of June. Gosh, we're halfway through the year already. Hope everybody's been fortifying those portfolios. Hope you guys are enjoying the journey that we are on. Hope you're liking the content. Hope you're liking the dedication, the consistency, because your boy is sick right now. Sick as a dog. But the show must go on, and technically speaking for this show, I don't have to cam up. So we're going to not cam up because I got a tissue in my nose. It is terrible. And I don't know if I could handle the hot lights right now. I'd be cooking like a lizard in a terrarium, and I'm not trying to do all that. I don't want y'all seeing me get sick on camera potentially. But it's a process, and, this builds character. Hope you guys notice up in the top right-hand corner of the screen. It's a new logo. Yeah, we did some logo work. When I'm sick, I start doing stuff. I start creating things. And I got a couple of things that are going to be pretty interesting, so make sure you tap in on Thursday. I've got an addition too, because I already have a really awesome intro, but I kind of just want to do like 2 clicks for the intro. Eventually it'll get made down into 1 click for the intro, but for right now, it's going to be 2 clicks for the intro. And we're adding 2. I made a really good addition too, so you guys definitely going to want to tap in on that. We're bridging the new with the old. We're keeping things going. I got some more interesting stuff for you guys to check out on Thursday on the Guns and Butter show, because I will be going live. We are going to make sure that happens. Let's get to the housekeeping before we jump into the episode. Shout out to the Bag Chasers. You guys will be getting this the 3rd. Or no, it's Sunday the 4th. I don't even know what day it is. It's June 4th. It's Sunday the 4th. Good Lord. See, that's how you can tell I'm sick. I actually rested yesterday and didn't do anything. And I don't know what day it is now because this is my rest day. So it's the 4th. Bag Chasers will be getting this Sunday the 4th. Everyone else will be getting this Hump Day. So those of you who are listening to this on Hump Day, June 7th. Jeez, I know what day that is. Shout outs to you. Hope you're making it through your week well. Bag Chasers, I hope you guys are fortifying, getting ready for the week ahead. I hope you have some good stuff planned out. For those of you catching this on Wednesday, if you are not having the week that you want, it is not too late to change. We are only halfway through it, and you can make a different decision. Oh, Lord. But shout out to the Bag Chasers. Now, if you would like to get this information on Sunday with the early birds, 72 hours ahead of everybody else who catches this on Wednesday, you can do that by signing up in the Patreon link at the top of the description below. That is a Patreon group. It is not my Patreon group. It is Anton of AntonDaniels.com's Patreon group, of which I am also a paying member. But that's one of the special perks that they have of having me associated with them, also paying to be in there. It's one of the perks. You get my content, specifically my crypto content, first, which is a pretty good deal, if I don't say so myself. Kind of an added benefit to all the other game that you get over there. You're getting some legitimate crypto game as well. For everybody else, you'll be catching this on Hump Day, Wednesday, June 7th, and I hope you guys are having a great day. I really do. But let's go ahead and get into the episode. So, obviously, this is an as of the recording. As we can see, when we add money in, it touches on this profit line. So we are sitting at a profit of 37.85% gain for the year. 24-hour is almost a percentage gain, which we don't really worry about that number. I don't look at things on a 24-hour basis. Not interesting to me. Let's go ahead and get into the top 10. Position number 1, as always, for this year, for this portfolio, Ethereum, ETH. Number 2 is Synthetics Network, SNX. Number 3 is USD Coin, USDC. Number 4 is Arbitrum, ARB. Number 5 is Wrapped Bitcoin, WBTC. Number 6 is Yearn Curve, Yearn CRV, YCRV. Number 7 is Nasdaq's, NSDX. Number 6, number 7. Number 8 is the original orange pill, Bitcoin, BTC. Number 9 is Cosmos Hub, ATOM, ATOM. Number 10 is Alchemix, ALCX. As we can see, people, there have been some moves made with the portfolio. There have been some updates. As I stated previously, we are working on getting that Nasdaq's position solidified. We are almost a little over halfway there. I'm not going to say almost there. I think probably next payday, which is coming up, should be the mark for getting what we need done. So that's going to be moving up. It's going to be sitting in a healthy position, and then we'll be on to probably our next of our last 2 positions. I'd say next position and a half, because I think the next position that I pick out is going to be a half position, because actually it might just be solidifying some of these other positions that I've got on here that I've already started. We shall see, but we're focused in on the Nasdaq's position. We're holding firm to that. We're keeping it moving. You look up at the top, we got the pie chart, obviously. Ethereum, still Big Daddy. We've got a couple other positions nestled in here. Well, we're living our lives. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're doing what we can do, best we can with what we got, making these moves. So the next update will most likely be increasing that Nasdaq's position, solidifying that out, and then we'll be moving on to the greener pastures of getting some other stuff done, depending on how those numbers flesh out. Right now, no complaints there. We're doing good. We're keeping her moving, making these moves. The next thing we've got, we're going to go over some of these news articles, and then we're going to jump into some alpha. Actually, this video, because the alpha is going to be the same as last week, it's going to be a quick blurb about the alpha, and then we're going to do a blind reaction, because I haven't watched this yet, but I did have it come up on my feed today, and it's within the last 48 hours, so I figured I'd share it all with you guys and see how you guys like this bit of content versus our standard fare. We're going to go ahead and share this tab now. So, for those of you who are not aware, Congress is introducing a game-changing crypto bill amid a $350 billion Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, and XRP price bump. what they're doing is they're getting ready to drop framework. This is going to be great for the American public, the American citizens. They'll get some clarification, hopefully, so that the rest of the institutional money that's sitting out on the side scared, that's waiting to rush into the market, can get into the market. I'm either way this goes, it's going to be good for crypto. Like, I'd rather them just say like, hey, we're not messing with that. We don't like it. Or just attempt to ban it so that way we can get our VPNs turned back on and go that route, than sit in here in this gray space because the money that could be coming in is not coming in and people just want a clearly defined answer, and we're not getting that. So with that said, people are eagerly awaiting. Apparently it's supposed to have some good stuff in it. There's probably been a lot of lobbying behind it. Rich and wealthy people are into the space now. They want to be able to continue to take over the space. And for those last bits of final institution money, they are going to want to get that clarification so that they can start coming in. Because I would say coming in with the big dollars. They've already came in with the big dollars, but they want to go ahead and release the Kraken into the space, which is going to be great for me and everybody who's already in here. So, I mean, buckle up. Next bull run could be pretty interesting depending on how this stuff goes. The next bit of news is an interesting one as well. T-Mobile is getting into the cryptocurrency space with a validator on Polygon. Again, I've had some Polygon bags. I've been sitting on them patiently, happily, no complaints. And when I hear stuff like this, I can't lie. This is great news for those bags. Like, that's going to be a great infrastructure play. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. They're going to be doing a validator node, which means that they're going to be able to make money in the network, which is cool. Yeah, they're going to be getting that passive income. It's going to be great for T-Mobile. Probably going to be good for the stock. Going to be great for the ecosystem, diversification and all. They're also probably going to be setting up stuff eventually within that ecosystem. Also good for the space. Again, waiting for that big money to come. So that's some interesting news, really good information coming out there that is boding for the space and these projects. I mean, when you see the big names going in, validating on projects, probably a good sign to do some research and figure out if you need to have some funding over in those projects. I digress, but we've already talked about that. So lastly, we're going to get to the DeFi Alpha. So basically, this week it's simple. It's still the 20% over on 20+% over on Cosmos. Easy play. I didn't see anything else that was interesting in my sickness. Granted, did not look that hard this week, but that Kelper, easy play. You just send the item over there, stake it, move on about your day, and watch the passives rack themselves up. Can't say anything else about that. Let's jump into this next one. So shout out to Jamie Tree. Not sure about this page, but he released this. I want to see what Michael Saylor's talking about. Michael Saylor, his urgent message on Bitcoin. And then in parentheses, it says time to buy. We already gave it the like. I pre-like these because if I'm reacting to your stuff, I'm going to pre-like it. I'm going to shout out your page just in case anybody else wants to get over there on you. It's Jamie Tree. It's a little yellow background with an outline shadow of a tree. I like it. Shout outs to you, Jamie Tree. And we're going to share your stuff with our tribe over here, the Dinero Dogs. We see you. We look at you. We acknowledge you. We appreciate you. Let's jump into it and see what Michael Saylor's got to say. Hold on one second. Let me get my earphone. Boom. So we don't have too bad of an echo. All right. There we go. All right. Let's see what we got. Oh, hold up. I didn't share this. Wait. Share this tab instead. And then we're going to do this one. Boom. So I'm down here in the corner. Let's see what we got going on here.
Scoured all of the property assets, art property, commercial real estate property, every form of property. And then we scoured all the commodities and we considered every form of commodity from gold to silver to soybeans to oil to natural gas. And then we considered all the crypto assets. And at the end of the day, we concluded that Bitcoin was the best. And we made our decision. We've been executing the strategy.
So, mind you, that's MicroStrategy. That is a publicly traded company. Definitely something to look into if you're into the traditional finance market and you want some exposure to Bitcoin. They are ardent buyers of Bitcoin. They did their research. They did a lot of research. I'm pretty sure that Michael Saylor, considering he's built MicroStrategy, you can look up the history of the company. Since he built that, I'm pretty sure he might know a little bit more about research than your favorite guru, than your favorite financial advisor. Otherwise, the question becomes, why don't they have MicroStrategy? Like, why aren't they doing this? So, as he's clearly stated, he's put a lot of research into this decision on going all in on Bitcoin. Let's keep it moving.
Since then, we've spent thousands of hours studying every development in the crypto ecosystem, every development in the Bitcoin ecosystem, all the macroeconomic, all the political, all the regulatory moves. My conviction today and my comfort and confidence today is stronger than it was in August of 2020. It's gotten progressively stronger each year. And so I don't see anything that's a threat on the horizon at this point.
MicroStrategy founder and
Now, he stated that as he did all this research, he sees nothing that's a direct threat to the existence or continued growth of Bitcoin to this point. Just keep that in mind.
former CEO Michael Saylor would have to have one of the most unshakable convictions in Bitcoin in the entire space. Not only has Saylor personally invested hundreds of millions of dollars into Bitcoin, but his company, MicroStrategy, has over $4 billion worth of Bitcoin.
Now, this man is so adamant about Bitcoin that he is double dipping. He has Bitcoin personally. He has Bitcoin through his business. Genius level conviction, in my opinion. That's a sink or swim if I've ever seen one. You just getting Bitcoin everywhere. Commendable.
Bitcoin on its balance sheet, equating to over 140,000 individual Bitcoin. Saylor was one of the keynote speakers at this year's 2023 conference, and afterwards he joined KitCode News to discuss his outlook on Bitcoin over the coming year. Within the interview, Saylor spoke on what was his epiphany moment for Bitcoin and why he decided to go all in on Bitcoin as opposed to every single other asset. If you have ever doubted your Bitcoin investment or been unsure of its future, Saylor's explanation will surely change your mind.
Now, I just want to add in there that when I tell people starting out, if they're not sure, the easiest thing to do is just buy Bitcoin and not sell it. The easiest. It's very boring. It's not sensational. In all honesty, outside of some of the abilities to leverage and expedite the process of building wealth that other avenues give you, buying Bitcoin and just holding on to it is almost, it's a no-brainer. It's just straight up, it's straight easy money. Like, on a long enough timeline, if you're looking at it from like an investment, like I always tell people, I'm like, you get yourself one Bitcoin, set it aside, that's retirement. If you've got a while before you retire. Like, there's only so much you can say about doing the boring thing and having the boring thing work out for you. And I also have added to that list of boring things. Like I have my I'd say top 5 that are my go-tos, but with Bitcoin specifically, on that level, I'm like, that is no brain money right there. Like if you don't know what to do, if I don't know what to do, I just buy some Bitcoin, throw it into the long-term holding, cold storage, and just leave it alone. It's real easy. Like if I can't figure out what to buy, just buy some Bitcoin. And to me, honestly, doesn't really matter what the price is. It goes in 4-year cycles. Like, as long as you're not buying the bull cycle peak. And even then, if you buy the bull cycle peak and keep it for 5 years, that means you're going to be through the next bull cycle peak. It'll be higher that next bull cycle peak. So yeah, there's no, at least from what I've seen and what the charts have shown historically, since it's been around for its existence, if you hold it through multiple bull cycles, there's no bad buy point. So anytime I can't figure out what to do, I buy Bitcoin. Or if it is bull cycle peak, I just save the cash and wait for the drop to buy that, to catch that on the way down. Yeah, Bitcoin, no brainer. I have also added Ethereum to that no brainer list for me personally. That's the reason you see how much of it's in the portfolio this year. I'm focused in on getting my 32 Ethereum. It's a long, arduous road, but we're making the moves. We're moving towards it as best we can, and it's an uphill climb. I wish I would have bought when it was lower, but like, even at these prices don't make sense for the stuff that's going on the network. So these are still great buys in my opinion. It just would have been better if I would have snagged up 100 of them when they were not expensive. But I'm doing that with all my other projects, so let's keep it rolling.
And make sure to stick around to the end of the video, where Saylor gives his outlook on markets and why he is going to stick to his Bitcoin strategy no matter what. Also, only a small percentage of my viewers are actually subscribed. If you enjoy finance content, consider subscribing, liking the video. It's free and you can always change your mind.
I think during the COVID lockdowns, when the interest rate went to zero, it became clear that if you had hundreds of millions of dollars earning 0% short-term interest rate, it's not an asset, it's a liability. $500 million held for a long period of time, when the inflation rate is 20% and the interest rate is 0%, has a negative real yield of minus 20%, which means that your 500 million is worth 400 million 12 months later. So in a world where the monetary inflation rate is greater than the discount rate offered by the central bank, in that world, if you have positive working capital, if you have $1 billion in your treasury, when the negative spread is minus 10%, you're losing 100 million a year. So in that world, you can't rationally have a positive treasury balance. You need to have negative working capital.
Okay, so since nobody heard what I just said, we'll start over. This is what happens when I am sick. So I don't know if many of you caught that there. He is stating that in an inflationary environment, holding piles of cash is not such a great idea, kind of like what we're seeing in the US right now. When the price of assets are skyrocketing and consistently going up, your cash, your dollars, are consistently going down faster than what they're supposed to. Like, you're supposed to lose value at about 2% a year. 2 to 3% is what they're saying is good. I don't know why that's good, but that's the standard for the system that we're in. What Saylor is talking about here is holding large amounts of cash. And I understand that this is speaking from a business perspective, but like, you could extrapolate this down to your bank account. If you have $50,000 sitting in the bank and inflation is 10% a year, and it's only 10% a year, you're losing $5,000 a year in buying power. So if that continues for 10 years, that is essentially, as far as what you could purchase, worth zero. So you're losing money at a high clip every year, and this scales. If you got $10,000, you're losing $1,000 a year. I mean, if you only have $10,000 in the bank, $1,000 probably actually matters to you. So like that's something to think about. You can buy less. That same $10,000 will buy you $9,000 worth of whatever it is you're trying to buy the next year. And that's if it's only 10% for that product. Now, if you're using that for food, for instance, now it only buys you $5,000 because food's about 50% inflation. Like roughly, if you're eating good, like if you eat good stuff, it's 50% higher than what it used to be. So what he's saying is he's speaking to the fact that, and the thing that people don't understand is this all scales. Your personal finances are a business, whether you want to admit to it or not. This all scales. So what he's saying is if you're sitting on a pile of cash, you are losing buying power for that pile of cash every year that it sits there because it's just sitting there. And the market's going up and you have stagnant dollars that are not going up.
So in a world of consistent monetary inflation and low interest rates, the rational thing to do is to do an LBO and go into debt and actually not hold $1 billion in capital, but rather borrow $1 billion in capital and have a razor thin margin of $10 or $20 million. The problem with doing an LBO and borrowing billions of dollars so you have negative working capital is...
Hold up. We're going to go back.
Is the Toys R Us problem, which is eventually you have a bad quarter. Toys R Us problem,
Hold
which
up.
is billions of dollars. So you have...
Let's do that. Okay, so an LBO, what he's speaking about, a leveraged buyout, is when one company attempts to buy another company, borrowing a large amount of money to finance the acquisition. The acquiring company issues bonds against the combined assets of the two companies, meaning that the asset of the acquired company can actually be used as collateral against it. High-level leveraging. Debt is how wealth is created.
You have negative working capital is the Toys R Us problem, which is eventually you have a bad quarter and you have no capital, so you go bankrupt. So it's like with your family. If I said all of your assets are being inflated or devalued, debased every year, and you go, well, my great solution is I'm going to give up all my family's assets, borrow as much money as I can, and then one day you're not going to be able to make the mortgage payment and all your kids are going to starve. So the epiphany of 2020 was the only path forward. There's two paths forward. Either I have to impoverish the company by loading it up with debt, and we're going to eventually trip and die. And that's why the mortality rate in all these LBOs is 99%. They all go bankrupt and they're torn to pieces. And it's bad for the employees, bad for the customers, bad for the shareholders. Or the other possibility is I have to convert my treasury into an asset that cannot be debased by the government. I have to have tangible assets. So if you have 500 million, are you going to buy 500 million of buildings or oil rights or timber or coal or soybeans or gold or Bitcoin? And I looked.
Now, I don't think. Now, this is important for those of you who are perspicacious to understand what he's talking about here. This is a different path forward. This is a future financial strategy, if you would. Shout outs to Future Financial Strategies. We might have to do this video over there as well. This is a new way forward. This is a new opportunity forward for those who are perspicacious, for those who understand what's going on, for those who understand where the ball is going. That's the reason that the cryptocurrency space in and of itself is so important. It's offering a lot of different opportunities for people to navigate with their money as they see fit, without a middleman, without the worry about the board getting reset and the game changing. Cryptocurrency is an exercise in true democracy.
I looked and I said, well, I can't find 500 million worth of art to buy. Art's a store of value, sort of inflation hedge. If you held it for 100 years, it's worth more today than it was 100 years ago. You can't say the same for the dollar. So I can't find art to buy. I can't, do I buy land. I can't find a portfolio of $500 million commercial real estate to buy. It was all overvalued.
Oh, dodged a major bullet. Commercial real estate right now is about to be going into a very dark place. So that would have actually been a bad investment moving forward to now, because it was overvalued then. The commercial real estate market's getting ready to collapse now.
Can you buy the S&P index? No. The problem with the corporation is accounting rules and law requires that no more than 40% of your balance sheet be invested in securities. There happens to be a carve out to hold treasuries. Although treasuries are technically securities, they're deemed as property or commodities in the accounting profession for that purpose. But I just couldn't go buy the index. And if I did buy the index, the problem with that is the typical investor would say, why did you buy the S&P index when I could buy the S&P index? So you're not really adding value to an investor. So the question is, what is the most valuable king commodity that you can buy that's property and not a security, that actually adds value to an investor, that can reasonably be expected to appreciate in time as the dollar is debased? And that got me looking for either gold, like gold is sound money for 5,000 years, or Bitcoin. And I concluded that crypto gold was better than gold. If I could create a gold network with 21 million gold coins, if I could make it illegal to mine any more gold, if I could make it possible to teleport the gold, if I could make it possible to program the gold at 1 million cycles a second.
He's listing off all the things here that Bitcoin can do that cryptocurrency can do that physical, tangible gold cannot do.
That'll be better than gold. So I thought, well, I guess theoretically we could create that. And what happened in the crypto world is they created a form of crypto gold, a pharmaceutical grade synthetic gold, but it's faster, smarter, stronger than gold. All of the advantages of gold, a bearer instrument with no counterparty risk that's a non-sovereign store of value. Those are the advantages. None of the disadvantages of gold. It's expensive to move, it's centralizing, people can steal it from you, and gold miners keep debasing it by making more gold. So once we saw that, we said, okay, crypto gold looks better than soybeans, looks better than real estate, looks better than gold. What's crypto gold? Is it Bitcoin or is it some other crypto asset? And after studying all 10,000 of the crypto assets, you could start with the top 100. You concluded Bitcoin's the most decentralized. Bitcoin didn't have an ICO. Bitcoin didn't have a pre-mine. Bitcoin isn't controlled by a corporation. Bitcoin isn't controlled by the core devs. It isn't controlled by the Bitcoin Foundation. They fought a civil war over the future of it. People that wanted to corrupt it or change it lost the civil war. You got a winner. And so the provenance of Bitcoin indicated that it is, and truthfully, the digital synthetic successor to gold. And then the conclusion is, well, if Bitcoin works, then gold won't, because every intelligent person with money has to choose one or the other. And so if they choose Bitcoin, Bitcoin is going to appreciate at a faster rate. Gold is going to fail. Eventually, people will sell all their gold. They'll buy Bitcoin. And not only will you not be successful holding gold, you'll lose all your money to buy gold. Hence, we would have been up 1% if we bought gold. And instead, MicroStrategy was up 140% to buy Bitcoin. So that was our epiphany. And to put this in perspective, MicroStrategy had a $600 million enterprise value in the summer of 2020. And today it has a $6.6 billion enterprise value. So the enterprise value increased by a factor of 10. Our market cap increased by a factor of 4. And we went from having a $500 million dead money asset, a liability on our balance sheet called the US dollar, that was always going to yield less than the inflation rate, to $4 billion plus of a digital asset, which is appreciating 50% a year for the past 3 years. So we transformed our company.
And if you extrapolate that out to since its inception, it's averaging well over 100% a year. Just going to throw that in for context. Like, everybody always uses these like very narrow windows to like prove their point without looking at like the life of an asset. And I feel like that's a piece of context that's important that people have, is the full picture.
In essence, you could call it a digital REIT of sort. Like, we basically backed it with billions and billions of dollars of a digital scarcity. And instead of having to basically give all $500 million back to the shareholders in a buyback, or do an LBO where we decapitalized the company where we had no assets, we flipped it such that today we have billions and billions of dollars of assets, and we're the best capitalized we've ever been, and the financially the strongest. And that in that journey, the market cap increased by a factor of 4. The asset base increased by a factor of 8, and the enterprise value increased by a factor of 10. And of course, we found an institutional purpose. Right now, MicroStrategy is in essence providing a security backed by Bitcoin that allows an institutional investor in a matter of 30 seconds to buy $10 million of exposure. And in the absence of MicroStrategy, that investor would take 3 to 5 years to go through the process of vetting the custodians, the exchanges, changing their charter, and reconfiguring their organization such that they could actually invest directly in a commodity.
So there's Michael Saylor on his aha moment and why he has such an unshakable conviction in Bitcoin.
We're going to wrap it up right there. Again, Bitcoin's good for business. Bitcoin is good for so many things. But as far as shoring up yourself financially, as far as being in this cryptocurrency space, I tell people all the time, Bitcoin is my largest holding, period, regardless of how many portfolios I make, how many years I do this. All roads lead to Rome. Rome being Bitcoin, and now I've added Ethereum. And yeah, that's the gist of it. Like there's so much to say and so little to say. Like none of this, it's like if that's not your foundational point, like when people talk about they only have one coin or they're overhype about another project and they don't have any Bitcoin, I just look at that as portfolio. It's portfolio suicide, in my opinion. Like it just doesn't make any sense. You should always have a firm foundation. And Bitcoin and now Ethereum are both tried, true. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. They're both part of the current narratives, both macroeconomically and microeconomically. There's no reason to not hold those coins unless you're just blatantly 200% in this space to gamble. So we're going to wrap it up. If you've made it this far, I want you to tell me, are you starting to get the understanding of the importance of Bitcoin in a portfolio? Do you understand that, yes, you can be super excited, super vigilant, super on the team of other coins? This isn't a one coin's going to make it. But if you were to set up a stock portfolio and it was only penny stocks, people who've been investing for a while are going to look at you a little bit funny because you don't have any foundational stocks. You don't have an S&P 500 ETF in there. You don't have any type of something that is going to be less volatile than the rest of the market. Like it's just common sense. So I'm hoping to put an emphasis on the importance of having those boring coins, those non-exciting coins, and having those be the bedrock of your portfolio. So that way, when things go bad, you're not in a situation where your entire portfolio got knocked out and we have to see you crying in your car because you lost your rent money on TikTok. I would prefer to not see you there. So make sure to give me a like, a share, a subscribe. Hit me up down in the comments. Those of you who have been commenting on my videos, I appreciate you so much. So much. And since it's the beginning of the month, we're going to be doing the shout outs for last month's new subs because there have definitely been some new subscribers because the little channel over here is growing steadily. Very much appreciate that as well. For those of you who are supporters of the channel, who have supported monetarily, thank you so much. Those of you who have supported by sharing my content, thank you so much. shout out to the world class. He actually shares my videos. Muslim guy and the guys over at New Frontier, they've actually been sharing my videos. I really appreciate that, guys. Like I can't say thank you enough. I definitely have a community that's developing and growing over here that I very much don't deserve. And everything you guys do for me, all the interaction, all the support, all the love, I definitely appreciate it. And you guys just don't understand. I feel like garbage. I wanted to make sure to not miss my video because I feel like I owe it to you guys now. I know I owe it to you guys because, like I said, like I try to surround myself with people who I view as better than myself. And I have like a bunch of friends that I feel like I gotta live up to the accolades and the support you guys give me. So like, share, subscribe, hit me up down in the comments. I will be replying to comments. I sound a lot more coherent via text than I do talking right now. I am sorry about that. I just don't feel well. We're getting through it though. This isn't a woe is me. It's like sickness happens. It's weakness. Pain is weakness leaving the body. And I feel like I dumped some weakness this weekend. So we're ready to get back on it. It's going to be interesting to see what tomorrow morning's workout's going to look like. Cause I do not feel like I'm going to want to do it, but we're going to do it. It's what's going to happen. With that said, you guys have a wonderful rest of your days. Whenever this finds you, be it Sunday or hump day, Wednesday. I hope you're having a good one. It's your boy, Reckless Ray Dinero, and we are going to do that thing we do at the end of the videos where we tap out. So let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. I pull up.